Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, Jackie, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Mayor Evans,
Here.
Vice Mayor Parrish,
Here.
Mr. Velardo,
Here.
Mr. Price, Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Ms. Cooper,
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Here. Do I have a motion to excuse Mr. Price?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
All right, we have a special presentation tonight from the Police Department, Chief Mills with the annual report. Welcome.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to present the 2023 Milford Police Department Annual Report. The report serves as a yearly summary of department data, statistical information, and metrics that allow us to measure the effectiveness of our deliverable services. My presentation tonight will focus on the critical functions of our operation. However, the full report is available on our webpage. We had another busy and productive year in terms of succession planning, problem solving, and community relations. In 2023, we continued to see turnover, something that's plaguing the career. Nationally, there were 47% more resignations in 2022 than in 2019. Jeff Haggie, a retired police lieutenant, was hired to fill our one part-time position. Heather Mason was hired on our lateral entry program to fill the vacancy created with Detective Wilson's resignation, and Alex Dresselhaus was hired to backfill our new school resource officer position. As usual, the men and women of the Milford Police Department rose to the challenge and took advantage of every opportunity to provide our community with excellence in policing by doing the right thing at the right time, in the right way, and for the right reason. Just when we thought we were doing every community outreach program available, we came up with new and creative ways to connect with our residents. We worked with Claremont County Child Focus and the Milford Exempted Village School District to implement Handle with Care, a notification program to alert school officials whenever we have reason to believe a student may have experienced an event that could affect their mental well-being. Thanks to a partnership with Impacting Tomorrow and Pattison Elementary, we provided Thanksgiving meals to needy families. Kroger invited us to participate in Cocoa with the Police, and the Milford Miami Township Chamber of Commerce asked us to participate in the first Breakfast with the Grinch. We were also pleased to welcome back 3 newer programs: the Weiler Driven Project, No Shave November, and the Golf Cart Christmas Parade. As a result of our commitment to community policing, we received the Agency of the Month Award from the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police. Our commitment to a real, meaningful, and successful officer wellness program continued under the leadership of Sergeant West. We now have a trained team of peer support officers and a top-of-the-line wellness app that's available to all members, active and retired, as well as their significant others. As you'll see from this report, the results of the hard work and dedication of my staff are undeniable. It's an honor to work with such dedicated professionals in the service of a grateful and supportive community. In 2023, we patrolled 142,425 miles, received 54 hours of in-service training, wrote 12,976 reports, made 510 arrests, conducted 2,938 traffic stops, investigated 264 auto accidents, and issued 1,776 citations. The red and green lines, and auto accidents represented by the blue line. Part 1 crimes have continued to steadily decline since 2013. Research suggests the reduction could be attributed to high visibility traffic enforcement, preventative patrols, or community policing. I don't have any empirical data to support those theories. Nonetheless, it's good news. Are there any questions so far? Response to resistance, also referred to as use of force, is the highest liability function in our operation. Because it falls into the low-frequency, high-risk category, we consistently train officers on de-escalation tactics, case law updates, and techniques for taking a resistant subject into custody as safely as possible. Whenever an officer uses force or displays a weapon, his or her actions are reviewed by at least levels of command. I conduct an analysis to identify any or trends that would indicate a need for a policy. In 2023, 3,004 people and had only 2 responses to resistance. The force on arrested or detained people indicates that 99.999% of the officers of the Milford Police Department accomplished their mission without any use of force. This level of force is within the FBI parameters of use of force on 1% of all arrested or detained persons. I found no consistent variable in terms of officer involved, suspect, location, or race that would indicate identifiable trend or causative factors for concern. The 2 instances of a response to resistance in 2023 represents an increase of 1 over 2022. With only 2 occurrences, a significant in-depth analysis isn't possible. However, the following findings are provided. There were no complaints filed resulting from a response to resistance. Both incidents where weaponless tactics were required involved suspects refusing to comply with lawful orders. The 1 incident that resulted in injuries involved a suspect actively resisting arrest by pulling away, biting, punching, and scratching officers. The arresting officers attempted physical and verbal de-escalation tactics in both incidents. The average age of suspects, both suspects were Caucasian, 1 male and 1 female, and one of the suspects was under the influence of drugs. Are there any questions on response to resistance? Traffic pursuits are another high-risk, low-frequency practice and therefore must be closely scrutinized. Milford police officers may initiate an emergency vehicle pursuit whenever a law violator clearly exhibits the intention of avoiding arrest by using a vehicle to flee and elude an officer. However, a justified pursuit occurs only when the necessity of apprehension outweighs the level of danger created by the pursuit. An administrative review is completed by the officer supervisor after each pursuit to determine if the pursuit was within policy and to address equipment and training needs. The administrative review is then forwarded to the assistant chief and me for final approval. However, in 2023, there were no pursuits initiated by Milford officers, nor did any officer assist with an outside agency pursuit. We conduct in-service training on emergency vehicle operations and review our policy annually. As a reminder, in the last 7 years, we terminated 78% of pursuits in the interest of traffic safety. Are there any questions on pursuits? One of the most important functions administered through my office is that of internal affairs. As a contemporary police agency, we engage in high liability activities with the corresponding need to maintain the integrity of our operations and the ethical conduct of our members. It's our policy to investigate all complaints and allegations in a manner that will assure the community of prompt corrective action in the event of employee misconduct, while at the same time protecting our employees from unwarranted criticism pursuant to the proper discharge of their duties. In 2023, there was 1 investigation resulting from a citizen complaint and 1 internal complaint that was initiated by a member of command staff. The low ratio of complaints compared to the thousands of public contacts initiated by department employees is indicative of a self-disciplined professional staff. Any questions? A fundamental right guaranteed by both the U.S. and Ohio constitutions is the Equal Protection Clause. Everyone, citizen and alien alike, is entitled to walk, drive, and move about in public free from police interference so long as they obey the law. Those who commit infractions must receive equal and fair treatment regardless of their race, color, ethnicity, sex, sexual orientation, physical handicap, religion, or other belief system. Our officers receive annual anti-bias training, and sergeants are tasked with daily monitoring of officer-initiated contacts to identify unusual patterns that would indicate the presence of bias-based profiling. The annual review of our practices, procedures, and training showed no indication of impropriety, and the number of traffic citations and written warnings issued in '23 is representative of the demographics of our service population. The annual report not our strengths, it also identifies areas where we could improve. Each year, we identify 3 specific measurable goals that we strive as a team to achieve. Our 2023 goals were to expand our health and wellness program, and I'm pleased to report that we achieved this goal. Sergeant West has not only built and trained a team of Milford officers, he's also worked with the Tri-State Peer Support throughout Claremont County. Unfortunately, we failed short of achieving this goal. Us to retain vehicles well beyond their planned life cycle, forcing us to replace transmissions and motors. Our third goal for '23 was to reduce the number of underage tobacco and vape product sales. Despite our repeated stings, some of our businesses are still selling to minors, but we are not giving up. This will remain a goal in 2024. Moving forward, our goals and objectives for 2024 are expanding our Project Lifesaver team. We currently have a team of 5 trained officers. In 2024, we will train every officer, so we're poised to respond immediately to any activation. Reduce scam victims. Phantom hacker scams often wipe out bank, savings, retirement, and investment accounts. According to the FBI, losses from tech support scams were up 40% as of August. In 2024, we will provide fraud prevention presentations at our senior living facilities. And as I mentioned, we are going to continue to try to reduce the number of underage tobacco and vape product sales. Not only are we going to do our best to discourage businesses from selling to minors, we're also going to expand our juvenile delinquency prevention efforts through our new SRO position. So thank you again for the opportunity to give this presentation. I'm happy to answer questions now, or I can be reached by telephone or email.
Anybody have questions? Thank you. Again, thank you for the great protection that you give us.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, that takes us to proceedings. I have a motion to approve the council meeting proceedings from February 20th.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson? Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
And financial statements, do we have a motion to adopt the January 2024 finance report?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. That takes us to public comments. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a comment? All right, seeing none, we will move on to standing committee reports. Vice Mayor Parrish and Administrative Services.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. We held our last Administrative Services Committee meeting on March 4th, and I called the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. Present were myself, Mr. Thompson, and Kim Chamberlain, City Manager Michael Doss, and Executive Assistant Jackie Bain. We had Mike Brown, new resident of Milford, as a visitor. Up first, we approved the minutes from the February 5th Administrative Services Committee meeting. All voted yes. Then we moved into a discussion around AFSCME Additional Compensation Memorandum of Understanding. City Manager Michael Doss reviewed information regarding a memorandum of understanding between the city and AFSCME, which is our non-police union, Ohio Council 8 and local number 3381, adding compensation for employees who have or obtain their water and wastewater licenses. We have a 3-year contract with AFSCME in which we are finishing up our 3rd year. Negotiations will start with a new contract. We're at the point where we are trying to retain current employees and attract new employees. We really encourage our employees to get their licensure and offer incentives for them to do so. We have 4 AFSCME employees who are non-supervisors, 2 in wastewater that have a license 1 and 2 in water that have a license 2. With this memorandum with the union, the employees with either water or wastewater 1 license will increase their hourly rate by $1 an hour, and employees with either water or wastewater 2 license will increase their hourly rate by $2 per hour. The total base with this consideration within the MOU is $12,840 annually. Mr. Doss stated the reason for taking this to committee is because it exceeds the city manager's approval amount of $7,500 under the city charter. Mr. Parrish asked if the union representative felt this was a good step to get us to the point where we're more competitive in obtaining our employees. Mr. Doss replied yes, and from an operational perspective and managerial perspective, this is certainly a step in the right direction. The committee then agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding with AFSCME of Ohio Council 8 and Local 3381 for additional compensation for employees that obtain their water or wastewater license.
Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes. The week discussing Meridian Bioscience Incentive Agreement. Mr. Doss reviewed the Milford program, otherwise MIT, established. Considering this agreement is a grant in the form of an earnings tax refund in 3 consecutive years to Meridian Bioscience in exchange for their company's commitment to conduct within the city for a minimum of 5 years and to create and or retain approximately 30 full-time jobs during that 3-year period. Meridian is signing a 10-year lease at one of the vacant buildings located on the Parkway. The committee then agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an incentive agreement with Meridian Bioscience, Inc.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Committee then discussed the Ohio Stream and Wetland in lieu fee mitigation program. Mr. Doss discussed an Ohio Stream and Wetland in lieu fee mitigation program. The city owns property off Bay Road. Ohio Department of Natural Resources notified the city last year that this wetlands area. Once the city was made aware of that information, the city ceased hauling non-hazardous. The city hired a consultant to come in and take a look at the site. The city was in correspondence with the Army Corps of Engineers, and this culminated in a program that they provide through the Nature Conservancy, ODNR, where an entity can purchase credits in a wetland area. The consultant did some wetland analysis and determined that the impacted area was approximately 0.4 acres. The designated credit to purchase the 0.4 acres is $28,000. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into the Ohio Stream and Wetland in lieu of fee mitigation program and to take all necessary action to participate in such a program and pay the fee in the amount of $28,000.
Second.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
So if you don't mind, real quick, if I can interject, I'd like a clarification on that. It's not ODNR, it's the Ohio EPA.
Ohio EPA.
Thank you.
Next up for the committee was discussion surrounding 2024 dump truck purchase on state bid. Mr. Doss reviewed information that was presented at budget session, and one of the capital items in our budget for the service department was the purchase of salt trucks. One of the conclusions that we had was that we are going to look into purchasing 1 salt truck in 2024 and do the other salt truck in 2025. We left $240,000 in the service department budget at the time, which was approved. The salt trucks came out to be about $120,000 each. Fuller Ford Incorporated, who is part of state bid, submitted a bid in the amount of $59,762.80. Also, an equipment quote from K.E. Rose Company submitted a bid for truck bedding and housing in the amount of $49,000. Truck and equipment total $108,762.80, which is substantially less than the $120,000 that council had appropriated for the salt truck in 2024. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director Draft an ordinance authorizing city manager to purchase a 2024 dump truck from Fuller Ford, Inc. at the cost not to exceed $59,762.80, and equipment to outfit the truck from K.E. Rose Company at a cost not to exceed $49,000 under state bid number QQ884 for a grand total not to exceed $108,762.80.
Second.
I have a question before the vote. No, didn't we change the budget to only purchase? No?
You know, I think we might have to 120.
Yeah, I believe we did. I
Yeah.
know the initial budget was 240, but then when you came back and amended that.
Correct. I believe you are correct,
So the
yeah.
goal would only to be by one of those this year.
Right,
correct?
right. I think we still had 120, just splitting that amount in half, so still a
Okay.
little less than, what we had budgeted, but I believe you're right. I think my budget book was just not updated, so
Yeah.
point
okay.
of note there.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 5:48 PM with a motion from Ms. Chamberlain, seconded by Mr. Thompson. All voted yes.
All right, thank you very much for your report. That takes us to council comments. Would anyone on council like to make any comments? All right, that takes us to Mr. Pacheco and ordinances and resolutions.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 24-269, an ordinance to enter into a memorandum of understanding with AFSCME Ohio Council 8 and local number 3381. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding with AFSCME Ohio Council 8 and local number 3381 to increase compensation for employees who have or obtain their water or wastewater licenses. The MOU is attached and fully incorporated by reference under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second?
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-269, an ordinance to enter into a memorandum of understanding with AFSCME Ohio Council 8 and local number 3381.
Motion to adopt?
Second?
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-270, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an incentive agreement with Meridian Bioscience, Inc. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into an incentive agreement with Meridian Bioscience, Inc. to create jobs benefiting the city and its residents. The agreement is attached and fully incorporated by reference under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second?
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-270, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an incentive agreement with Meridian Bioscience, Inc.
Motion to adopt?
Second?
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-271, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into the Ohio Stream and Wetland in lieu of fee mitigation program and to take. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into an Ohio Stream and Wetland in lieu of fee mitigation program and to take all necessary action to participate. Are outlined in the attached and fully incorporated by reference under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Oh,
Second.
second.
Who, I'm sorry, who seconded?
I think Ms.
Okay,
Chamberlain,
you
Kim,
voted.
yeah.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
You had a third there. Ordinance number 24-271, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into the Ohio Stream and Wetland in lieu of fee mitigation program and to take all necessary action to participate in such program.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-272, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to purchase a 2024 dump truck from Fuller Ford, Inc. at a cost not to exceed $59,762.80, and equipment to outfit the truck from K.E. Rose Company at a cost not to exceed $49,000 under state bid number QQ884 for a grand total not to exceed $108,762.80. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The city manager is hereby authorized to purchase a 2024 dump truck from Fuller Ford, Inc. for the road department at a cost not to exceed $59,762.80, and equipment to outfit such truck from K.E. Rose Company at a cost not to exceed $49,000 under state bid QQ884 per the attached quotes for a grand total of $108,762.80. In council's judgment, these quotes offer the best and most responsive prices to purchase and to outfit the dump truck to the city, considering quality, service, price, reputation, and past performances and financial condition. The quotes are attached and fully incorporated by reference under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by city council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes. Ordinance number 24-272, an ordinance authorizing city manager to purchase a 2024 dump truck from Fuller Ford, Inc. at a cost not to exceed $59,760.80, and equipment to outfit the truck from K.E. Rose Company at a cost not to exceed $49,000 under state bid number QQ884 for a grand total not to exceed $108,762.80.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. All right, thank you very much.
And going back to my days of The Price is Right, if you get within $100 of the bid, you get both. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. I don't believe we have anything else, so is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Evans?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. All right.